2019 is wrapping up. Let's take a look at the Gearhead Lounge and see what we've done during 2019 and see where we're going for 2020. It's New Year's Eve 2019. I wasn't going to make a video, but then I thought about it and I figured this might be a good time to just put a video out there to talk about the lounge and see where we're going and talk about what we've done and where we're looking to go for 2020. So for those of you who may or may not know, the Gearhead Lounge came to being in June of 2019. I really wasn't planning on doing a channel. Like this time last year, doing a YouTube channel was the furthest thing from my mind. Just one day I was looking for a video and I didn't see what I wanted to see. I didn't see the information that I wanted to get. I didn't see the quality I wanted to see. And I just thought that this might be a good time to make a video of something I wanted to see and put it out there. And so that sort of snowballed into, well, if you're gonna make this video, maybe start a channel and put some other videos out there. So I started off doing some car show videos, and that ended up with me doing a history video of the Dodge Charger. And that was the video that I wanted to see that I didn't really see out there that was at the level of detail that I really wanted. So that's how all that started. Come to December 2019 and we're at 146 subscribers, and we're looking to go forward full bore into 2020. So let's take a look back at the top 5 videos as far as views are concerned, and then we're going to talk about 5 things we're going to look forward to doing for 2020. So the 5th highest viewed video that we had out there was Coffee and Cars, August of 2019 at 225 views. That was a pretty popular video. I really like making the video. Actually, I like making all my videos. I tried to take a look at the type of people that I talked to see if that had an influence on it, but I really couldn't tell if that had an influence whatsoever. But looking back at that video featured the JDM mark, Japanese domestic models. So there were a lot of Nissan slash Datsun cars, Hondas, Fiats, all sorts of imports there. It was a really nice gathering of cars. I did a feature on 3 280Zs that were super clean, very nicely done. I really liked the guys that did it. I liked the cars, very cool people. Each car had an individual different story. It wasn't like that they were all doing the same thing. One guy just liked the cars. One guy wanted to make them very original. One guy wanted to make one that looks sort of like a drift car, but with a Japanese flair to it, like it was over in Japan. And then one was a mix, was a really nice, almost like a resto mod kind of look, but it was, they were all very nicely done. And then the other cars that we did was it was a really super nice Subaru that this guy did. Really nice, clean and white. It was really close to stock, but it was just clean. Really clean look, nice car. And then the third car that well, actually it was more than the third car, but the third individual feature that we did was a 63 Impala SS. It was a really nice original car. It was a Survivor. I forgot the mileage was on it, but it was less than 100,000 miles, I believe. Original paint, original interior, and the guys had it for 5 years. Really, really clean. So that was the 5th highest viewed video that we had up there. The 4th highest viewed video that we had out there was Coffee and Cars of October of 2019. Now that particular one was a fundraiser for the fallen officer's family, Sandeep Dhaliwal. He was the officer in Houston that was killed in the line of duty, and they were raising money for his family and for his kids and everything like that. So there was just a good selection of cars that showed up. It wasn't a particular mark that was brought up or anything like that, but there was just again, there's always nice cars that will come out. In particular, I featured a couple of businesses that was there. The first one was Trey, and he had his bright neon green backdraft Cobra, and his business was bustedknuckleauctions.com. He and I were discussing the differences between the Superformance and the backdraft cars, and just the different styles of the companies and the product and what they offer for customers, and how you get a certain group of customers that gravitate towards one way and a different group of customers that gravitate towards another way. Both companies make very nice cars. His backdraft Cobra was flawless looking and looked like a ton of fun to drive. The other business featured was Engine Customs and Performance. And I spoke with Brian, who is the owner of the company, and he had this gorgeous Fiat 500 Abarth that he did and made tons of horsepower, custom stitching inside the interior. It was black with orange stripes on it, and excellent workmanship on the car, on the modifications. And I also interviewed his friend who had another Fiat 500 Abarth, and his was just a little more understated, but he made more power. He was kind of cheeky on the amount of power he made, so he wasn't wasn't giving out any numbers or anything like that. But they were both equally really super nice cars. The third person I interviewed didn't necessarily have a business, but he had a super clean Subaru SVX. Those are rare. You don't see a whole bunch of those on the street. They were kind of out at the time when they came out, but they've stood the test of time. They had a unique styling. They are very clean, very sleek looking cars. And Mark had a really sweet looking one that he had modified himself. He turned it into a manual, and the paint was gorgeous. He found some STI wheels, I believe, that he put on them, and the car just worked. You know, it was black. I believe it had chain interior. It was just looked like a really super nice cruiser. So those were the three cars that I had gotten on that video. The third highest video that I got was Zoroarkis Duntov and the mid-engine Corvette, and that was 482 views. I made that video right around the time the mid-engine Corvette was about to be introduced, and so I figured, hey, get on the bandwagon with all the other channels that are out there talking about the Corvette and put in my 2 cents. I kind of went a different route because I really didn't know a whole bunch about the new Corvette that was coming out, so I didn't want to just try and speculate on what the Corvette was or anything like that. But hey, one thing I'm good at is history. So I went back to my roots and I did some research on Zoroarkis Duntov and his quest to put the mid-engine Corvette out there. And it took about 50 years, but it finally came to fruition in 2019. And so we just went through all of the prototype vehicles that Chevrolet had developed over the years, starting with the CR-V1 and just going through all of them, and ending with the finished product of the 8th generation Corvette. But the video itself, I really thought that it came out really nice, and it had a lot of information on the development of the previous prototypes, and I wanted to get into basically the thought process of GM and what they were thinking and what Zoroarkis Duntov was thinking and why they wanted to bring the mid-engine Corvette to market. And that was to make the Corvette perform at its highest level against the rest of the world. And the only way to do that is to make it a mid-engine car if you just want to take it to the next level. So that's what they did, and hey, Chevy hit a home run again, I think. The second highest video that I did in 2019, well, obviously of all time, but the second highest viewed video that we have is the history of the Dodge Charger. And that is at 1,177 views. This was my very first history video, and it was a learning process the whole time. It took me a few weeks to put the video together. I wrote the script, then I had really no access to footage, and so I had to go on Facebook and find some videos I could download for free, and that wasn't a copyright infringement or anything like that. And so I found all the information to fit what I wrote, and we put the video out there. Again, this was the video that I created because even though there were some Charger videos out there, they weren't at the level of detail or information that I like to see. So that's where I got the big idea to come out and do it myself. And it was fun, even though it was tedious and it took a long time, but it was fun to do, and I really loved doing it. I really liked the way the video came out. This is my first time putting this video together, and I was trying to learn the software. I was using the free software that came with Microsoft Windows, and in the middle of it, I switched over to another program called HitFilm, and so I was mixing the two, and I was still learning how to get my sound levels together. So that's why near the end of the video, the music seems a little more louder than my voice. I may eventually go back and kind of quote unquote remaster that video so that all the levels are equal. But other than that, I wouldn't change the content at all. I really love the way it came out. I thought it was great. I love the music. This is from Bensound.com, and they have some free music, and then they have a membership you can buy to get more music. But I just like the way the music is at that website. It fits everything I want to do. So it's one of my favorite videos too. I mean, I really like them all, but that one I really like. I can sit down and watch again and again. Not to mention, I just love the Chargers. So that brings us to the Gearhead Lounge's top viewed video. And sitting at number 1 is the history of the 1965 Shelby GT350. That one comes in at a whopping 3,420 views as of right now. This one was on the short side because I decided to break up the history of the Shelby by year as far as the early Mustang goes. I figured that would be easier for everyone to digest, because if I decided to do 65 through 1970, the video could easily be an hour long, and I didn't want to do that. The Shelby GT350 video was, again, me wanting to find the information and didn't see everything that I wanted to see, so I figured that I would make something that I wanted to see with all the elements that I wanted. I wanted the history. I wanted to be more than just putting pictures up and saying, this is the car here, this is what it does here. I wanted to put a little personality to it. That's why I put a voiceover on it and spoke about the car. I did a lot of research on the internet to try to make sure I got the information as correct as possible. I really love the way it came out. The difference between the views on the Shelby video versus the views on the Charger video is that the Shelby video had some help, and that was a friend of mine saw the Shelby video and wanted to feature it on this website that he was working with called Etched in Chrome. And Etched in Chrome is a website that has a lot of links to other websites and other videos, and so mine was mixed in with all the links with all the other channels and stuff, and so that site saw a lot of traffic, so therefore my video saw a lot of traffic, and it trickled into some of the other videos that I had on my site as well. The difference there is that the Shelby video had help there with Etched in Chrome, The Charger video didn't make it to any of those sites like that. So even though the 65 Shelby video has the most views, practically more than double of what the Charger video is, the viewership of the Charger video is more organic, if that's the proper word to use. Being that a lot of people saw the video and then they told friends and then they told friends and they shared it and it went out, and it was more word of mouth as opposed to it being a website that saw a lot of traffic. Otherwise, I'm still happy with the views of all the videos. I'm just thankful. Thank you to all the people out there who have watched my videos and who have helped me to grow and all that. I have no complaints. So that's it for all of the top 5 viewed videos of the Gearhead Lounge. And so now, looking forward to 2020, there are 5 things that I want to look at for this channel to work at, to improve, and to start to include as well. The first thing I'm going to look at is creating more history videos. Looking at the viewership and the top rated videos and the videos that really bring in the subscribers, I've noticed is that it's the history videos, especially the Charger videos, the Shelby videos. They really brought in a lot of viewers and a lot of subscribers, and I think that's where my strength is, and so that's where I'm going to start to focus more of my attention. The thing is that these videos just take a long time because I have to sit down, I have to write a script, and in writing the script, I have to do the research. I want to make sure that the research is on point, and I don't want to put any junk out there, so I want to take my time and make sure that the video is correct. But that is the first thing we're going to work on. That is going to be more videos concerning history. So look forward to seeing more Shelby videos. Look forward to seeing this Challenger video. That's going to be the first video that's going to come out. I'm still working on it. It's going to be a couple weeks still, but that's coming out. Look for the history of the Camaro to come out. I'm going to start diving into the history of the Corvette. We're going to look at even some JDM stuff. We're going to look at some European cars. Anything that I can find information on that I can start writing about, you're going to start seeing history videos on that. The second thing that we're going to be looking at working on and changing is lists that I've done. I've only done 2 lists. The first one I did was like a gifts for gearheads for Father's Day. And then the second one I did was gifts for gearheads for Christmas. And like the last one we just did for the Christmas, that one probably got 25 views still, you know, so I'm thinking that that's probably not what the viewers are looking to see from this channel, so we're probably going to scale that back from the 2 down to probably 0, unless we find some sort of hook that we can use that is popular with everybody. We'll probably stay away from doing lists. But since we're going to be dropping the lists, one thing we're going to start adding more of is we're going to do features on cars and people and shops. And we're also going to be interviewing people, and we're going to be doing some shop tours. And we're going to try and go abroad. So when I go out of town, if I hit a town that I know has a nice shop that's willing to open up their doors to the Gearhead Lounge, we're going to go over there. We're going to feature that shop, and we're going to talk to the owners or whoever we can, and we're going to put together a real nice quality video for you. We're also going to be looking at some local shops around here that we can hook up with, and we're also going to be looking at car clubs and people who are just enthusiasts into cars and trucks and anything Gearhead related that we can just sit down and feature their vehicles and possibly just sit down and talk to them, because everybody's got a story, and everyone has something interesting. So I want to see if we can just pull that out of people and maybe put some nice stuff out here on the internet that we can watch. The fourth thing we're going to be looking at is a project car. I'm not Goon Squad, I'm not Alex Rebuilds, but we're going to do our best to make things interesting and keep things relevant. And then after that, we're going to look at expanding into more project cars and to see how that works out. So that's going to be more of an experiment and see if it works. If it works, then we're going to expand. If not, then we're going to pull back on it and keep trying to mold this channel into something that everyone likes and that is productive and useful to everyone out there. And the fifth thing we're going to be looking at once we get everything together is merchandise. We're going to have some shirts, some sweatshirts, some hats, some mugs, what have you. The Gearhead Lounge is going to be out there for everyone to see. So why not have a cool shirt with the Gearhead Lounge on it? And that's it for our analysis of 2019 and our look forward to 2020. I just want to thank everybody for the comments, for the likes, for the shares. I take everything you guys say and I try to put it towards the channel to make the channel better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to look forward to a better 2020 and we're going to grow. We're going to look for shooting for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if it grows enough, 5,000 subscribers. Hey, you never know. 10,000, right? So we're going to go ahead and shut this video down. But hey, thank you again for your views. Thank you for everything. And we're going to look forward to 2020. Have a prosperous New Year's and be blessed. Thank you all.